Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy. Welcome back to more Kirby Triple Deluxe. Last time, it was time to say goodbye to Wild World and say hello to City Folk. Actually, a pretty good visual representation of my opinion over City Folk over Wild World. I continued to play Wild World after City Folk released because it was basically just a port of the same game, but that's a story for another day. Last time we finished that, this time we're going in to endless explosions with the explosive force of the hammer. Nothing shall stand in our way. Oh, except maybe that. Oh, those were in the foreground. Okay, that's fine. You gotta learn to pay attention, you know. You gotta do that. This man here, or beast, he had a copy ability, but had a parasol in his hand. Whenever that happens, the item takes precedence. We also have a new enemy, Shellmit. Shelled. He's basically a really defensive enemy. Don't really have to worry about that. You can actually put out fires with the parasol, causing it to have some utility. And you know what? Part of the reason why I've chosen the parasol here today is not just for that reason alone, though that is a heavy contributing factor. I asked you guys what you thought of the parasol, and if some of you actually enjoy it. And you know what? Some of you do. Some of you had good reason. I actually happen to agree with some of your logic. What I did know is that Circus Throw move is a lot better than I was giving it credit for. If you're ever fighting a boss, it does... Okay, that looked really funny. It does something special that I hope to kind of show off as we get further into this. There's the fact that in vertically oriented stages it can be good, and of course, it does shield you on top in certain areas, which in a place like this is actually pretty appreciated. I already knew about that. I didn't know about the thing about the boss, and this just happens to be a really good place to use it. Oh boy. Okay, keep going. I'm gonna hop out right here. Is there nothing? This is just a grace platform? Okay. Let's get over to the side. Ah, key puzzle. They can never just give us one of these boats for fun, you know? They always gotta make us go through it with some item or other. Okay. Before we get that candy, I see a little hidden pathway. And I'm not gonna like swaying side to side here, so I'm just gonna tap down. I need to remember to do that when I have Parasol, because that also makes it more useful. And now, it's time to get all hyped up and ready to go! Yes! Let the Animal Crossing flow through your veins, Kirby! It's not long now. It's almost there. What is it with me bringing up Animal Crossing so much? I think you know the answer to that question. I think we all know the answer to that question. I think we're all feeling it inside of ourselves right now. And I think it is. And hey, Mr. Frosty. I'm very happy that you're not Mr. Frosty Dicks. I would really like to not deal with that anymore. The parasol blocked his ice cube flawlessly right there. That's good. So, I can pick up the star, and I can use it without actually having to drop my power up. That's the really good usage of this power. Of course, I didn't really need it. Do I want the ice? Yes, I do. Sorry, Parasol. You got to see your use, though, and I do think a little bit more highly of you now. So thank you, everybody who wrote that in. Moving along, we can actually skate over the lava, just don't touch the sides. No, no, well, that sucked. Okay. Nothing, no, I can't go back, it was a boss, what am I saying? If I still had ice, I could deal with those fire blocks similar to how I was doing so with Parasol, and ouch. Let's do better, okay, let's focus a little bit more. Stay calm, stay focused. A great man once said that. Jeez, this thing's really combo you into the lava. Keep going. That old Shelled over there, keep going. Shelled. Probably got called Sheldon in school a whole lot. If I still had an ability, I'd be able to do that. This is a one-way door. There is this down here, though. Seems I'm gonna have to come back in for this. I don't think I can kill myself, because I think that'll just respawn me after the boss. So let's just go in. I'll come back in and do it later. Gotta learn from my mistakes, after all. Oh, hey, wheel! Can't do anything up there. I can go down, and we can just have a fun carriage ride with this. Oh, hello. Okay. This can go up, go over that way, go over this way. Gotta cut corners, and then... Waiting for you, waiting for you. I was waiting for you, I was waiting for you. I'm so excited that I beat a monkey in a race when I was a car. I'll take that. take my energy drink as I keep talking about things that you have told me about. Technically, all drinks have some form of carbs in them, but they're not really good for carbo loading, so I was right there. Here we're gonna behave like a speedrunner who isn't really a speedrunner, but thinks they are because you didn't use wheel, you use fire. I have a miscellaneous topic. Hey, Waddle Dee actually ties in perfectly with what I'm saying. I seem to have a sixth sense for these things. This was released around Kirby's 25th anniversary, and there was a great big old celebration for it online and at PAX and lots of other places. And for April Fool's Day on this year, they changed all of their media to be Waddle Dee's 25th anniversary because he has the same birthday as Kirby. I thought that was genius, and if you actually want to view the official website for Waddle Dee's anniversary, it's still online at the time of making this video. It has all these parody games with fake box arts for games starring Waddle Dee based on real Kirby games. It's super adorable. Just like me, skating up and down a mountain. I'm acting like I'm skiing here. Going on the slopes. I'll go through here. Do the ice suction. Very efficiently do that, and that's it? Really? That's it? I didn't think that was gonna be it. I officially declare myself good! Thought you were gonna... Thought I was gonna turn myself into a liar? Well, I showed me. Maxim tomato and an extra keychain. Keychain number 1. Shotzo, already have me one of those. A bun! I personally prefer the dialect of calling it a buns, but still a bun. Aww. Its ears are half its body. Skull from Kirby Mass Attack. I believe that that's a world boss in that game. Inhaling Kirby. Not much to say about him. It's his original power. Did you catch my snowdrift? Ice is an excellent power-up to have here. Ice suction things when you get very close to them. You can destroy these blocks with it. Gives the things with relative ease. Look at that power. A lot of you are praising this ability, and I can definitely see why. It has some uses. It's not 100% terrible. I just stand by it being one of the lesser power-ups because it's more situational than a lot of other ones are. Huh, I guess that ice cream was Rocky Road. I guess that meat was high in iron. Huh, I guess that rock was low in density. Yes, I know it doesn't actually make sense as a joke. I have these things to keep me alive, you see. I'll do that. Makes sense why they would make you need this. Breathe that away. Breathe that away. This contains, we know it to be, the second sunstone. All 5-1 collected. Ha, guess now you're a tempered swordsman. Ha, I guess now you're dead. Bah! Pride comes before a fall. Bonkers! Looks like he's saying his name with a lot of gusto, the bah sound. Kirby! How non-specific of you. So I willingly chose to play this level yet again because I just really wanted wheels, so that was 2 separate runs that you saw. Third place. But you still played quite well. Spear Waddle Dee. I was gonna make a joke. I was gonna. A lot of you have made an argument for this little guy after I legitimately asked why you want him in Smash Brothers, and you're right that spears aren't really well represented in Smash Brothers yet when it's a legitimate style of fighting, and he's one of the more, I guess, important characters to a franchise that wields a spear. Kine and Kirby. Grizzo. Ah, but you see, You're not considering all those important Fire Emblem characters within their games that could be a spear character just as much as Waddle Dee, probably even more likely so. Okay, no, I'm not gonna go there. I don't want to get slapped. Okay, so I wanted to get wheel because it's actually a pretty wheel deal. This is a place where I would recommend having it. Not really here at the very beginning per se. You can guard dynamite! Just love getting that in every single time. Guarding against things. You can't guard everything. I've been making it sound like you can risk-free guard absolutely everything. It's not quite that good. I was recommending wheel because it could be used to skip over the water here. And over the lava. Oh, thank goodness for that platform. I am thankful for you being in my life. Let's do it. Let's do an alternate way of platforming through here. So I have to go up here a little bit. I look so adorable being a badass in my inner tube with this cap on. Okay, we can go up here. I need a power up to deal with that though. So I guess I can't keep wheel after all. I just thought it would be fun. Okay, at least the Scarfy's gone. Wow, the enemy respawning rules actually favored me for once. How often's that happen? No, you fool! You fool! I can't eat you if you don't exist! I don't want you to have a quick and painless death. I want you to rot in my stomach acid for at least 12 hours. Gimme, ninja. Okay. I'm being very weird here. Okay. Get away from me, you stupid fish. Okay. What I want... Baby, you got it. Oh, whoa! Kirby, I'm impressed. You've been training. I wanted to get on the water surface and use the water gun here. It's not often this ability gets to see much actual use. Usually the bosses have to be sitting above a pool of water for you to really get any use out of that, but thought I'd do it. Nothing else, nothing else, nothing else. Not a good power-up in the water. We'll definitely make some use out of it with all these floating waters. Oh, Mamanta. My man, Mamanta. We'll go up to the surface of the water and blow you up the ass with a bamboo shoot. And I see Sunstone #1 back there, unless they're doing some really epic foreshadowing. I always get so nervous around these guys. What am I doing? Actually, what am I doing? There, I've turned the 3D on. Just because you can't see the 3D doesn't mean that I can't. I should have that on regardless of whether you can see it or not. I'm looking down at my 3DS right now. I can make use of the 3D in places where I think it would be helpful. I don't need to worry about the bars. I tend to get hit by the optical illusions quite a bit because I don't have it on. Between the bars being on separate planes and being more fluid in their movement, the meteors in the last place we went to, I should have it. So I don't really need to... it's not like I've been really sorely missing the 3D constantly, but I will say that in that one instance, it does kind of feel like it would help to have, because then I know exactly how close they are to reaching my plane, if that makes sense. We'll keep going. The enemy respawning rule did not favor you today. I'll go around this door, nothing. Just being extra cautious because they're being really jerkish with these power-ups. Been missing some rare keychains lately. I'm surprised how easy that one back there was. For those of you that still play using a 3DS, I gotta say, for games where it makes sense to have the 3D turned on, I kind of like the 3D slider in the middle. I don't know. I know that 3D is kind of different for everyone, so I can't really give a setting that would absolutely work for you and, you know, be the absolute best for absolutely every person. But I don't know. I've always liked having it kind of in the middle. I feel like there it doesn't really get disrupted by sunlight. I feel like you're getting a good enough view of the action. It's just enough depth that you can see things when they want you to, where you can see the little tricks that they're using to maybe add some more challenge with it. That's what I like. You are blocky! I'm just gonna keep comboing you. Not if you combo me first, though. Oh, God. Okay, well, I was correct. You were gonna combo me. Just not first. I want to show you what Blocky looks like in the Kirby anime. He looks very funny. He's very early 2000s CG, which was kind of what that whole show was like. In a lot of Dedede's early appearances in the show, he was always CG'd for some reason, even though all the other characters, except for some of the monsters, except for like the kind of the non-talking monsters were that way. It made his mouth movements look so awkward, and I don't know why they did him that way. And in the later episodes, he is properly 2D animated like a lot of the characters are. I don't know, it was just such a weird mixture of 2D and CG. I know a lot of you have been telling me that I should talk about that show, and as a kid, I really loved it, though, but I went back and I watched some episodes for it in preparation for this because I knew it was going to come up, and as much as I hate to say it, it's really not a good show. And yes, I'm aware of the localization changes that were made by 4Kids. I still don't really think that it's really that much better without those changes. Like, there are some funny things that are only in the Japanese version, like Kirby using a machine gun in that one episode, don't get me wrong. There are some really funny curios with the series, though, but I think that they're just relegated to being kind of interesting moments rather than super good episodes a lot of the time. I think maybe my fear of Scarfies actually might come from the episode that focused on them, because I do remember there's an episode where Dee adopts a bunch of Scarfies, and they're eating him at a house and home, and then when he can't feed them anymore is when they turn into those horrific monstrosities and they wreak havoc all over town. Then, sinking like a stone in water is great, just do it in moderation. You ain't stealing my martini, buddy. Go over this way, go down, get the keychain this time. I'll be 1 millimeter too short to collect this star, okay. Just had to mock me for my height one more time. Judge me by my size, do you, star? I wanted to rock for good reason, there's this. What do I, okay, I understand. Might have to do this room over because it took a second to click. Yeah, it took a second to click. I'll be right back. I've learned after a couple of attempts that this timing is really tight. You gotta be on your top of your game with this one. Pound that in, barely does it. Even with that much efficient movement, still only just barely got the sunstone. Thank goodness for endless tries, right? And then we'll move on to hello. Boy, am I happy to see you. He eats dimensions for lunch. I will reiterate, it's so funny to watch speedrunners just beat themselves up with this power-up instead of doing the puzzles. I guess there's not enough time for looking badass, and self-deprecating is just a faster way of getting out of doing things. I learned that one in elementary school. We'll pop you open, take that one up, and then we'll carry on. Oh, okay, so this is a thing. It's a whole new kind of French kissing. A sequel, if you like. It's French kissing someone so hard that you devour them. It's Spanish kissing. I just tried to think of some country next to France, and that's what I came up with. Okay. You saw what happened to your brethren, and I guess they die momentarily before it's then into the horror of being eaten. We'll keep on moving. He's just sitting on a block over there, not knowing what's going to happen to them, and little did they know, or big did they know in that one guy's case who was larger than the others. I don't want to keep going on. Gotta hit the bomb, because I gotta be standing on ground to do this. We'll put a cork in it. Not really. This cork, your puny corks aren't enough to stop me! Ah! I'll give you one thing, Kirby. When this is over, you will certainly not be iron deficient. I'll take another sunstone. Couldn't miss that if I tried. That's number 3. And then, more giant glunks. Glunks. Just a fun name. This is probably the speedrun where they actually solve the puzzles the most, because you actually can't move on if you don't. Oh. I can't suck his ass, I gotta suck his tongue. Come here. Boom! He yearned to be with the tip of his tongue once more, and now, for all eternity, they can be together. That's the true love story in all this. The story between a man and his tongue. Or a woman. I guess I don't know for sure. I wonder if anyone's ever done that, made a love story between somebody and their own tongue. I'm sure some anime somewhere. I'll eat all this stuff, get restored back all the way up to full health. What, you think you're gonna chomp me? Ha, you weren't even close. Sorry, man, bite's not a ranged attack. So the fact that the tail gets stuck and then you just see it like wiggling at the end, they went out of their way to make this as creepy as possible. These sections that involve using the Hypernova ability, I suddenly turned British there where I called it Hypernova. Hypernova. Hypernova Kirby is interesting because usually the way that games get developed is that you learn the technical limitations, you learn what the system can do with what it is you want your game to be, and then you design a game around those limitations. That wasn't so for this. Instead, they had the animation team storyboard the most comical scenes possible to make Kirby seem absurdly powerful. And then once they had done that, they just simply left it up to the programmers to find a way to make it work. They said it was the most challenging aspect of the game during development. And I gotta say, it really shows that this had some creative minds behind it, and it wasn't just the simple work of programmers by themselves. Again, playing into how games are massive collaborative efforts. Perfect! Give or take a few pixels. But Kirby knows you missed those few pixels, you see, because he's the one who's got to cling on for dear life because you did. Your mistakes are the difference between life and death for the poor guy, and he puts all of his faith in you and believes in you. He loves you, man. Nightmare's Power Orb. We've already seen that when I was blowing up the balloons of Circus Kirby, and I gotta say, the pixel aliasing was not kind to this one. Probably gonna be a big keychain if I load it up at the thing. Superspley Curry. That's an ability that allows Kirby to breathe fire for a short time. It was kind of one of the original power-ups as it was in Kirby's Dream Land before even the copy ability existed. Think of it as a precursor to the Fire Kirby we all know and love today. Waddle Dee ball we've already seen. Plasma Wisp. I've already mentioned that Plasma Kirby is not present in this one. A Wapid. Heh, Waddle Dee. More like Waddle Dead. I've been saying things like that a lot today. I apologize. Loading up the keychains. I want to see that Nightmare's Power. There it is. Oh. It actually just looks that terrible all the time. Well, that's a ripoff. If I turn the system around, is it? Okay, it was pivoting a little bit, so I thought maybe it would. Well, that's lame. I was kind of thinking they might have up-resed it or something. The pixels just look terrible like this. Oh, I know what it is. It's got to be because it looks like this normally, but because the sprite's always moving in the NES, you don't see it like that. So I never imagined it looking that way. Cool. Well, that's 2 stages of endless explosions down. Next time on Kirby Triple Deluxe, we carry on in our journey through these lava lands. See you guys then.